Thank goodness that I'm safely aboard the refuge. The last time I saw my husband and my son is when they put me into a lifeboat. But the officer would not let them in because he said it was women and children only. They said that they would get off on another boat. The last time I saw my husband and my son is when I was being lowered down. I don't know where they are. My mind is still swirling, like the water that just swirled up and overtook the mighty ship. How could we be so foolishly confident? And the poor people, like a swarm of bees, frantic, helplessly clinging to her for dear life, hundreds of them. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. Titanic, in its death throes, was so brilliant. It was lit in the pitch black darkness of the night. She resembled a glittering fairyland, with light streaming from every porthole. Every star in the heavens was visible, and the water was smooth as glass. And then I saw the stern slowly rear up until it was absolutely perpendicular. She was up there for the longest time. The huge bronze propellers were completely out of the water. It looked like she was going to stay there like that. It's the most terrifying sight that will never ever escape my memory. Hundreds of faces all lined up on the rail. They started disappearing from view. They were extinguished like a long light of electric bulbs suddenly turned off. Losing their footing on the steeply slanted deck, they slid down horribly into the ocean, like beads of a broken string. A great wailing cry came as they dropped from view. This will haunt me forever. Where is my husband and my son? At the same time, gravity was hurling every moving object in a loud, thunderous crash. There was a sickening, rumbling roar like thousands of lions. You could feel and hear everything going through her. And the lights dimmed. They flared up again. And then they finally extinguished. And then Titanic just slid and vanished into the sea. The spot where once stood a majestic ship, the ship that kept us warm, that coddled us, fed us, took care of us, it was nothing. The Titanic was gone. But for hours afterwards, giant bubbles continued to break to the surface of the sea. But oh, the anguished, dreadful, persistent cries of despair coming from the people in the water. So many, too many. How could there be so many? Piercing screams worse than any siren. Absolutely horrifying. And there was nothing we could do. How could this be? Within an hour, one by one, the cries subsided, and only the noise of the sea remained. be forgotten. Where is my husband and my son? How could the mighty ship Titanic, that we entrusted our lives to, fail us so terribly? It was terrifying to drift in darkness for hours. It was so cold I could feel my skin congeal. We were all in a state of shock, petrified. We had no compass, no food, no water, no light. We didn't know if we'd be saved. Some of the icy ocean, water, seeped into our lifeboat and nipped at our feet. For many hours, we wondered whether we would be saved or left to die in the mid-Atlantic. Was there time to get word to another ship about our desperate situation? How would they find us? Where were we? Which way should we row? We were afraid that no one knew of our wreck. The suspense was terrible. As daylight appeared, the wind rose and the waves got rougher. We were drenched with spray, hungry, thirsty, tearful, and desperately seasick. We could see the stretches of ice and the giant icebergs in the distance. Oh, how our hearts swelled in the Carpathia steamed towards us. I climbed up a rope ladder into an open hatch and to the safety of Carpathia. I have not found my husband and my son, but I am hopeful that they are on another rescue ship. It is hard for me to believe that the largest and greatest ship ever built is now a steel coffin at the bottom of the sea. But I must believe it, because I saw it with my own eyes. It will be forever embedded in my memory. And they said she was unsinkable. Please let us take a moment of silence to remember those who passed.